In the quaint town of Greenwich stood an aging windmill, casting an eerie presence upon the villagers. The windmill, now in ruins, was said to emit faint whispers that seemed to echo from its decaying heart. The villagers shunned the windmill, passing by it with trepidation, for they believed that within its depths, the voices of the departed could be heard. Children whispered tales of how the windmill's interior echoed with the voices of those long gone, particularly during the twilight hours. One day, a young explorer named Emily found herself intrigued by the windmill, determined to unravel its mysteries. Researching historical records, she discovered that the windmill had once been a vital part of the community, grinding wheat for sustenance. Yet, hidden in its past was an unresolved tragedy. Fueled by a mixture of excitement and apprehension, Emily set forth on her journey towards the enigmatic windmill. As Emily stepped into the ruins of the windmill, an eerie silence enveloped her. However, before long, faint whispers reached her ears. The voices were indistinct, yet they echoed clearly. With her heart pounding, Emily felt drawn to the source of the sound and cautiously ventured further into the windmill's interior. Standing in the center of the windmill, the whispers grew louder, intertwining into a cacophony of different voices. Unintelligible words, cries that didn't sound like any human sound she'd heard before, and other unidentifiable noises merged together. Despite her attempts to cover her ears, the voices seemed to come from all directions, impossible to escape. Emily spent several days tormented by the echoing whispers inside the windmill. Driven by a mix of fascination and unease, she decided to investigate the origin of these voices by delving into the town's history. It was during this research that she uncovered a dark event from the windmill's past. The windmill, once used to grind wheat, had been the stage for a horrific incident. On a fateful day, madness and rage had erupted among the villagers, leading to a violent conflict that took many lives. Since that event, the windmill had been considered a cursed place, haunted by the spirits of those who had perished. The townspeople, in an attempt to bury the gruesome memory, had kept the secret, but the voices within the windmill seemed determined to expose the truth. Driven by a mixture of curiosity and determination, Emily was determined to uncover the truth and find a way to break the curse that seemed to bind the voices to the windmill. The whispers were persistent, a constant reminder of the town's dark history that could no longer remain hidden. For several days, Emily was plagued by the whispering voices within the windmill. She delved into the history of the town to uncover the identity of those voices. Eventually, she unearthed a dark event from the windmill's past. During its operational days, a sudden outbreak of madness and anger had gripped the villagers, leading to a violent confrontation inside the windmill. Many lives were lost in the chaos. Since that incident, the windmill had been considered a cursed place, haunted by the restless spirits of those who had perished. The villagers had tried to bury the terrifying memory and erase it from their minds. However, the voices within the windmill refused to be silenced, as if they were determined to expose the hidden depths of the past. The truth was now clear to Emily, a history of tragedy and malevolence that had been concealed for years. With this revelation, Emily felt an even stronger resolve to find a way to break the curse that held the windmill captive and free the tormented souls trapped within its walls. With newfound knowledge of the past, Emily resolved to find a way to break the curse residing within the windmill. She delved into ancient texts, seeking a method to appease the accumulated resentment haunting the structure. By executing this method, the voices that echoed within the windmill would eventually fade, and peace would return to the village. Returning to the heart of the windmill, Emily commenced an ancient ritual. Midway through the ceremony, she witnessed apparitions of the departed, approaching her with uneasy expressions, whispering. Undeterred, Emily continued the ritual, attempting to release their lingering resentment. As the ritual concluded, the voices within the windmill subsided, and a tranquil hush fell over the village. Although the villagers felt a sense of unease, they could sense the curse had been lifted. Emily's courageous act had saved the village. The ruins of the windmill began to regain acceptance among the villagers as the dark history slowly faded into obscurity. Emily chose to remain in Glenwick, confronting the events of the past and crafting new tales, even as the windmill's enigmatic silence endured. As the ritual concluded, the voices within the windmill faded away, and a sense of tranquility enveloped the village. Though still uneasy, the villagers could sense that the curse of the windmill had been broken. Emily's courageous act had saved their community. The windmill's ruins began to regain their place in the villagers' lives, and the dark history slowly faded into obscurity. Emily chose to stay in Greenwich, confronting the events of the past and weaving new stories for the future. The tale of Whispering Windmill was one that delved into the mystery of the whispering voices within the windmill and the hidden darkness of its past. Through Emily's bravery and curiosity, the peace of the villagers was restored. Yet, the story itself continued to reside in the eternal silence that the windmill whispered into. The tale of Whispering Windmill revolved around the enigmatic whispers within the windmill and the dark history that lay behind it. Emily's courage and curiosity proved instrumental in restoring peace to the villagers. However, the story quietly lingers in eternal silence, as the windmill continues to tell its tale through its relentless whispers. The windmill, once a vessel of terror, has transformed into a symbol of resilience, reminding all who encounter it that even the darkest secrets can be confronted and the most haunting voices can be silenced. With each gust of wind that passes through its aged blades, the windmill seems to whisper a new narrative, one of redemption, bravery, and the triumph of light over shadow. And so, the Whispering Windmill endures, a reminder that stories, like whispers on the breeze, have the power to echo through time, carrying the echoes of history and the lessons of the past to future generations.